Yo, what's up guys, it's ApTreX here. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the brand new update of Citron Emulator Android, which has lot of improvements, and when I say lot of, I mean literally lot of performance improvements along with new features and bug fixes. On the Citron Emulator's official GitHub page, you will be able to see that the developer is now releasing daily builds. The latest build which we'll be testing out was released yesterday, and you will be able to see 2 days ago a major update of Citron Emulator came in, added 12GB DRAM configuration support, extended memory layout from 8GB to 12GB maximum. This will boost performance by a lot on high-end devices, updated lot more internal stuff which improves compatibility such as GPU/memory optimization, and the developer himself has mentioned that this build represents significant improvements to both core emulator and its infrastructure. All changes have been tested and verified for stability. So what are we waiting for? Let's start testing out Citron Emulator's new version right away. Now you'll notice that I have 2 Citron emulators on my Android device. One of it is actually an Antutu benchmark build and the other one is the original Citron emulator. Now to start off, we'll be trying out the Antutu benchmark build because it will provide you with best performance possible. So before we try that out, we'll need to remove the normal build of Citron emulator from our Android devices. Afterwards, we can open the newest Citron emulator Antutu build. Afterwards, go to settings and make sure to set it all up. I have imported all the necessary stuff, and if we just go and refresh our Citron emulator, you'll be able to see that all of my games detected inside this emulator. We'll be testing out the gameplay performance later on, but let's go to advanced settings and apply the best settings for this emulator. Limit speed percentage to 400 as usual. In terms of graphics resolution, we'll set it to 0.5x, and the graphics resolution descaling actually works in this emulator. Unlike other emulators out there, we'll enable aspect ratio as stretch to window, enable force maximum clocks and asynchronous shaders. VSync mode will turn it off, and yeah, that's about it. Once everything has been set up, we'll go to the debug section. CPU backend is set to native code execution. So I think all of the changes are actually internal. No new setting has been added. So we'll just go ahead and go to GPU driver manager and import our latest Mesa Turnip Adreno driver, which was released 5 days ago. It is the Mesa Turnip driver 25.0.0 revision 4, and I do recommend you guys to use graphics driver for better performance and no graphical issues. Once that has been done, I think we have finished setting up the entirety of Citron Emulator Android, and we can now start testing out games inside it. Once again, this is the Antutu build of Citron Emulator, which means that the performance should be pretty amazing and it should be utilizing the full potential of our Android device. I'll just go ahead and select the language, and the first game that we'll be trying out is going to be Red Dead Redemption 1 Nintendo Switch version. We gotta find out how well does this game actually work on our Android device. It is a really amazing benchmark test because when we tested it out on Yushu emulator, we got around 5 to 6 FPS maximum, but in Citron emulator last time the performance was pretty amazing. So let me just go ahead and start the game and I'll be back. So here we go, the game has successfully started. At the top left corner, you will be able to see we are getting about 30 FPS during this cutscene as expected. I'll just go ahead and skip the cutscene, and here's the moment of truth. How well will this game actually work? Let's find out. The game has successfully started, and immediately at the top left corner I am noticing really amazing FPS, about 13 to 15 FPS as you'll be able to see, and this is actually I think the smoothest experience that I have seen so far in Red Dead Redemption. Though the game speed is a bit slower and the controls, there is a delay between when I use the on-screen touch controls and when the game reacts, as you'll be able to see, but hey, at least the game is working properly. And as you guys will be able to see, now that the cutscene is over, we are getting even more FPS, 20 FPS while emulating Red Dead Redemption 1 on our Android device in open world area. This is not even in closed scenarios, and I can say for sure that this is the best gameplay experience I have seen so far in Red Dead Redemption. Well, what about other games like Sonic X Shadow Generation? Do they work or not? Let's find out. I have opened this game. It appears that this game will actually work. Previously, I remember it did not work. It used to crash quite a lot. But here we go. This time the game has successfully started, which means that the compatibility has also been worked on, adding support to more games that actually work in the Citron emulator. So let's press any button to start our game. I remember in Yushu emulator this game used to boot, but it used to crash right away. Well, I think that's the same scenario with this. No guys, it actually booted. That's pretty amazing. Because I remember in Yushu emulator, whenever you used to choose between Sonic Generation or Shadow Generation, the game literally used to crash, whereas now it's not crashing. The game has actually went in game, and here we go, the graphical output is also visible for you guys. This game is working at straight up 30 FPS with no lagging issues, with no freezing issues, and very minimal graphical issues. I think that there is a small yellow tint in this game, I don't know why, but greenish yellowish tint. The graphic color accuracy is not that great, but hey, at least the game is working. That's what matters the most. With that being said, let's just go ahead and try out our next game, which is going to be Yakuza Kiami. This used to also not work previously in the Citron emulator. It used to only work in Nushu emulator. So I believe it is still the same case, as you'll be able to see we are just seeing an black screen. I really hope in the next updates the developers do support this game. But other than that, let's just go ahead and try out Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. This will be a quick gameplay test. I have imported a save file, and this time you will be able to see the game has started very quickly. We are getting about 120 FPS. Not bad at all, literally 120 FPS stable on my Android device while emulating this game. But as far as I remember, once you exit the house, the FPS falls down by quite a lot. Like literally I used to get about 15 to 20 FPS while playing this game on my iQ12 with Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 processor. But here we go, now that we have exited the house. And this is actually very special moment because I am able to see almost 30 FPS. Well, I am very surprised because I have never ever seen Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu giving me 30 FPS in any of the folk versions of that emulator. Well, this is the only emulator that is giving me more than 30 FPS or even 35 plus FPS while emulating this game. Nushu, all of these emulators are completely unoptimized for Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu. It is supposed to be the worst game that you can emulate inside these emulators. But if worst game is giving more FPS, that means that the performance has improved by quite a lot. And with this logic, I can say for sure that all the other games will also get a performance boost, as we noticed with Red Dead Redemption. So definitely this is a very major update of Citron emulator Android. Do let me know in the comment section down below what do you guys think about it. Anyways, that's going to be it for today's video. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace out.